So, yeah, I made a fan film. Sort of. Hey, what up? I'm Miles and welcome back. And yeah, it finally came out October 1st, as I've been talking about for basically the past year. The big secret cosplay project finally dropped on October 1st. And y'all kind of went crazy on it. In a good way. If you're unaware of what's going on, all throughout the year on videos that I've made, I've been directly and indirectly dropping hints for a secret cosplay that I had planned to drop on October 1st. Why is my lighting like that? That I plan to drop on October 1st for spooky season. And obviously it is well into October. The short film has come out and most of you, if not all of you watching this, have seen it. If you haven't seen it, then I highly recommend you go watch it before you watch this video. Anyway, I can finally talk and speak about the film on YouTube without it being a secret. I can finally tell you guys everything about it, go over the hints, go over the behind the scenes, the bloopers, and basically just talk you guys through the entire process of creating, crafting both the suit and the project itself. Like I said, this is one of the biggest projects that we've done, one of the most professional projects that we've done, and we put a lot of work and effort into it. It was not an easy task creating this. So I've been dying to make this video to kind of talk to you guys more about it and give you all the little details that I didn't quite get to do because I couldn't spoil the surprise. So obviously, yes, if you're watching this video, you've all seen what the secret cosplay reveal is. It is a tactical version of Ghostface, but it's not just that. It actually combines two of my favorite characters of all time. Both of those characters that I've done cosplays of before. It combines obviously Ghostface and Ghost from Call of Duty to create the Ghost, or Simon Ghostface Riley, which I thought was a pretty neat idea for both characters to kind of merge them together. Ironically enough, I came up with the idea in like November of last year. I don't know what possessed my mind to come up with that idea after October, but I had the idea of merging the two characters, Ghost and Ghostface, Simon Riley and Ghostface, and I needed to make it. So almost immediately after last Halloween, I started writing. And at first, the idea I had was to do a surprise cosplay at the end of last year, but then I thought, what if I just used it to promote October, to do it during spooky season, because that would be the perfect time and I would give myself an entire year to plan the project. And that's exactly what I did. I started writing a script for this character, for what would actually happen, backstory for this character, and explaining how the two characters ended up mixing, as well as designing the suit. And when I tell you that I was hype, I was absolutely hype. I was coming up with this stuff early in the year, very early, pre-January. I had this idea before January, and I was so excited as we were getting closer to finally be able to drop it and release it. And now even more excited to be able to talk about it without having to keep it a secret. So the initial idea, the initial like envision of this project was the short film. It was this short chase sequence. It was never meant to just be a simple photo shoot or a simple video shoot. It was always meant to be this big project, but we really gave it everything that we had. And honestly, I appreciate all the love that you guys have given to that movie so far, and everybody else who might be watching it later in the future. Thank you so much. This was almost like a behind the scenes, like kind of on the side project that I was doing for the entire year. Obviously, I knew what the end product was. I knew that October 1st, this film was dropping. No matter what circumstance I hit, October 1st, this short movie was going to drop on YouTube. And I knew this plan without having any experience in making a short film, in editing something like this, in directing something like this, or even acting in something like this. But I still set my goals high to make this film by October 1st, and I'm happy to say that we accomplished it very accurately, if not 100% accurately, to what I initially envisioned. It's always such a cool thing seeing like a project that you envision in your head come to life, and it's basically beat for beat exactly what you thought it would be. But the point being is that this was never just an October project. This was a year-long project. I was building the suit in every single video, and if you go back into all of those videos where I dropped hints, you can see pieces of the suit hidden, scattered around. I showed the Ghostface mask pretty full front multiple times when giving hints. I showed the tactical gear in the background, and I even had some work in progress of the suit around the room scattered, hidden in those videos. The idea was to give you hints that were basically open enough that it could be anything, but once you find out what it actually is, you go back and realize it was in front of you the entire time, that I was basically showing you the costume the whole time, but finally on October 1st, it's revealed and it all comes together and all the pieces finally make sense. Speaking of the hints, I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, but Some of y'all went absolutely Batman detective mode on those hints. About a week or two before the video actually dropped, you guys started flooding the comments in my DMs and everything, trying to figure out what the secret cosplay was. But I'll touch on that in a little bit. Obviously, yes, for the suit, it's going to get a cosplay breakdown. I try to do this with a lot of my costumes, if not all of my costumes. I try to make a cosplay breakdown for you guys to view later, and leave links if you want to create the costume for yourself. But that's for another video. I'm gonna make a cosplay breakdown eventually when I get the time for it. But I plan to have every single video featuring the ghost drop in October, just so it's all like together during spooky season, because it's kind of like an exclusive cosplay. I'm kind of keeping them contained to October. I also want to talk a little bit about the filming process and what we actually had to do and the challenges that we went over when actually filming this thing. Like I said, this is something that was completely out of both myself and Michael's comfort zone. We've never filmed anything this long or this scripted before, and it was a very interesting challenge for us to actually make it how we wanted it. When we're on location, it's not as if we have a single director or a single actor or a single cinematographer. It's kind of like him and I are a unified team and we do it all together. Yes, he is the one behind the camera making all of the shots, making that actually happen. And yes, I am the one in front of the camera doing the actions and doing the stunts and directing the actress. However, when we stop between takes, between cuts, when we're sitting there working together, it's almost like we're co-directors, we're co-producers of what is actually happening on the screen. So everything that you see on the screen, everything that you see happen is a co-produced brainchild of both me and Michael together, working to make the shot and make the film basically the way we envision it. Even the tiniest little thing, like the camera movements, the camera angles, the speed in which the camera moves, the speed in which we're moving to follow the actress, the direction that we run, or even like the body language that we're portraying when we're running or when we're speaking or when we're talking, when we're doing these things, all of it is the result of both of us working together, taking a cut and seeing that didn't work, or maybe that did work, and moving forward with it. And that's kind of how we do every single project. We did the Tom Holland umbrella recreation video that same exact way. We did the Spider-Man G Fuel video the same exact way. We did the Spider-Man 707 bag the same exact way. The only difference with this one was we were actually telling a full cohesive story. We were telling a full story from start to finish and trying to make it all make sense. And that's something we have never done before on this scale, on this level, on this length. We've never made something that was this long. Yes, I know it was only like 8 minutes, but that's actually a lot harder to do than you think it is. My point being is it was a huge challenge for myself and Michael to make this thing happen, and I'm so glad that we actually rose up to the challenge and took it head on. Even though we weren't fully prepared for it or fully thought we were ready to make it, we still wanted to make it as best we could. And as far as I could tell, I think you guys like it, or at least I hope you do. I can confidently say that I'm satisfied with the project, but obviously I see a million areas for improvement, just like anything else I would ever create. So as much as this was my project and it's something that I really worked hard to do, I created the script, I created the design, I created all of this stuff, and I had the idea in my head, none of it would have happened without the team involved. A huge portion of that goes to Michael, who did all the cinematography, who did all the camera work, who did all of the angles like that. So he deserves a huge shout out. There actually is an Easter egg for Michael somewhere in the short film, and if you can find that, bonus points. And a huge props to our main actress, Engi. She did a fantastic job with the stuff that she was given. We did our best to direct her and try to like make it as professional as possible, but you guys know me, you know I'm not the most professional guy. Directing myself is one thing, but directing somebody else while I'm behind the camera is completely different. But she absolutely killed it at her role, and she deserves all the thanks in the world. Okay, so now here's the part that I'm sure a lot of you are waiting for, or one or two specific people, because I know you've been watching this video, waiting to see if I would catch what you did, and I caught it. And I have to say, I am incredibly impressed. I will come out and say right off the bat, nobody 100% guessed the costume. Nobody said that it was ghost plus ghost face. Nobody said it was a tactical ghost face. Nobody got that exactly. But there were two people who got incredibly close because they did two things. Number one is they worked together on a huge thread. They made a huge thread in that one video and they worked together to deduce all the hints. And the second thing they did is they went through every single hint. There were so many people who were guessing who weren't going through all of the hints, and I could tell because they would either say, I just didn't go through the hints, but here's my guess, or they were guessing things that a certain particular hint would blatantly like prove wrong, I guess, and take that guess out of the running. Because come on, like I did this for a year. I had a year's worth of videos that I was hiding things in. I was hiding little hints in, I was throwing things in the background in. I didn't expect everybody to go through and hunt those down, but one person did. They went through and probably watched every single video of this year to find all the hints. And they got the closest out of anybody. Their last comment in their giant thread, which I'm pretty sure they made at like 3 a.m. in the morning, but their last comment said, "I'm pretty sure it's Ghostface mixed with something." And they were deducing every single costume it could be and slowly knocking out every option. So the two people that I am referring to, and these are the two people who I will be in contact with and will win something, probably signed prints and a little extra something, are the users known as something Nevermore. I can't pronounce the first one. Akane Nevermore, who created the entire thread that basically helped everybody out. And the second person who was in the thread helping them the most was Maddie_TBO. There were some other people in that thread. However, the reason that I'm choosing these two people is because they did the most amount of work to deduce the costume down to what the guess was. And the guess ended up being Ghostface combined with something else. And they got the closest out of anybody. So those two people I definitely will be in contact with, and I will figure out how to send them something. There also is one other person who's winning a small giveaway. When we were in the live chat of the premiere, I challenged everybody. I said, if you're in this premiere, screenshot it and send it to me on Instagram. I'll run a random giveaway and someone will win. That person is yeast_t_. You will also be winning something, so make sure to DM me on Instagram because I got you. So initially I had planned to go over the entire thread that these people left, and maybe I will in one video, but that's like a video's worth of content. That's like 35 responses to that one thread that these two people kept pinging off of each other trying to get the answer. So maybe one day I'll go into that and kind of deeply explain every single hint, because I kind of want to make a whole video explaining all of the hints and kind of explaining how they make sense and what they all are. I plan on doing this in this video, but this video is already going to be pretty long, so... Actually, no, I'm going to do it now because I can figure out how to edit this out. But the video of going over the thread they made, maybe that'll be a different video. I just want to prove to y'all that this was created a year ago. I don't know if you can see, Tack Ghostface Secret Cosplay made January 4th, 2024. So your boy made these hints in January. So I started the hints off very obscure and I slowly made them more specific as we moved through the months. As we got closer to the actual secret cosplay reveal, I started getting more specific. So much to the point where I was actually showing pieces of the costume in the videos, like directly. I think two of the things that I showed in the videos directly were the pair of gloves and the pair of boots, both of which were red herrings to throw people off because I repainted them. Anyway, I'm going to quickly speedball through all of these hints and explain what they are because I don't want this video to be an hour long. The first one was, it is a Miles David original design, and it specifies that I wouldn't need to do concept art if it already existed, because I believe that I explained that I did concept art myself for the actual suit. This obviously being a Miles David, that would be me, Miles, an original design created by me. So that was pretty much the first hint I gave to let people know this was going to be trickier to kind of guess because it wasn't a specific character. The next three hints were, it is a forest photo shoot, which was kind of a lie because it was a video shoot. It is an original design of an existing character because it's two existing characters that it's an original design mixed of, and it mixes two completely different themes. Those two themes obviously being like military style and slasher horror. When it came to guessing, a lot of people were getting the horror part, but they were missing the second part. A lot of people were guessing like a horror version of Spider-Man, or like Bumblebee mixed with something like a zombie, or somebody actually guessed like Bumblebee mixed with Buzz Lightyear, and that was a pretty cool guess. The point being is you guys are really picking up on the two separate themes, but nobody ever got the second theme. I think someone may have guessed military, but my brain doesn't work often. As we moved down, the hints started getting more specific. The next three hints were, it is not Star Wars, it is not Spider-Man, and it's based off an iconic movie. Those three hints immediately would nail out a lot of options, because knowing me, I'm the Spider-Man dude, people are gonna guess it's a Spider-Man costume. And when it comes to things I'm known for, if it's not Spider-Man, it's Star Wars and lightsaber spinning, so that was the next thing people would guess is it Star Wars related? Once those two things were out of the mix, I think that the guessing got a lot more tricky and you were using a lot more of the other hints to try to ping pong it to actually like get it correct. I also think it made it a lot easier knowing that an entire category was wiped out and you didn't have to worry about it being Spider-Man or Star Wars. You could guess elsewhere. Another hint was kind of cheating on my part. I showed the concept art, but I blurred it, so that kind of gave people a color concept, which helped a little bit. But the next two hints were like the bigger ones that started getting people more in the right direction. The first of which being, they are one of the most recognizable characters of all time, and that would be true. Ghostface is one of the most recognizable characters of all time, And even though I mixed him with Ghost in a more military-esque style, we still use the classic ghost face mask. Speaking of the mask, another hint I gave was it involves a mask that was specifically featured on my channel. That of which being the custom Scream 6 match that we remodded and repainted. Now, funny thing about this, and I'll explain it more in the cosplay breakdown, this was not the original mask I was gonna use, but it ended up being the right choice. That was a huge hint to give because even though I'm the dude who always wears a mask, there aren't that many masks that I wear, which is why I phrased it that way of it was a mask that was featured on my channel, because that could have been any mask in any video. That didn't necessarily mean I was the one wearing it. And technically, the Fan Expo video that I dropped before the Ghost came out had somebody wearing a ghost face mask, so that hint became even more awesome. I don't know why I just like broke my neck to do that. That hurt. Also, look at my pumpkin hat. It's sick, right? I've blown like my entire paycheck at Spirit this last month. Spirit, please sponsor me. And the last hint I gave was a very specific hint of I have worn the original design of this character before. That involves both of them. I wore an original design of Ghost. I'm not sure if it's the exact original, but I wore the Warzone version. But I was more so referring to Ghostface, where I wore the original Ghostface suit for like 2 or 3 TikToks last year. So that would definitely have required people to hunt those down. That's why I'm giving the giveaway to those 2 people, because they actually did that, and I'm impressed they did. So obviously I don't want this video to be like 2 hours long. You want to go back to your day, and obviously you want to get out of here so you can watch the movie, right? Even though it's been playing behind me for the whole thing, you obviously want to get out of here so you can go watch it, or watch it a second time and share it. And send it to all your classmates and your girlfriend and your boyfriend and your significant other and your parents and your best friend from kindergarten. Yeah, you want to send this to everybody, right? Basically, that's the idea. I am just really excited to finally talk about it, but there will be more videos about it, including a cosplay breakdown and maybe going over all the hints. But here's the big question that a lot of people have been asking, both on TikTok and in the comments. Obviously, the initial drop of this short film, the title was The Ghost Official Trailer. I have since changed the title to Official Fan Film, but it initially was a trailer. So the big question that we've been getting a lot is, what is this a trailer for? Is this actually a trailer for something else, or is this just a project? The answer is, I don't know. The initial project that we created, the project that you're gonna go watch after this video, right? That little 7-minute thing, that project in and of itself is a trailer. It is meant to be a trailer. The project itself was not meant to be something after the trailer. So yes, this is a trailer, but we never intended to make something after it. This was simply just a fun little short film that I wanted to make, but I titled it a trailer because I kind of knew what I wanted to do afterwards. I kind of had an idea in my head for a longer short film. That sounds like a double negative, but you know what I mean. But the big question people are asking is this a trailer for something? Is something bigger gonna come out after this? Is something more gonna come from this character? And the answer to that is hopefully. Obviously making things like this is not the easiest task in the world. As much as we enjoy doing stuff like this, it is incredibly time consuming, it is incredibly exhausting, and it's incredibly expensive. We don't have a budget. We didn't have a budget for this short project. It was made simply out of just ambition and passion. With the schedules that we have now and the fact that it requires a bit of a larger budget to make something bigger, making a bigger project is very difficult to do. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself and probably Michael. We don't have the time or the money to do stuff like this as often as we want to. What I will say, and what I kind of have to keep under wraps for now, but I have talked about it in the past, this was something that Michael and I were doing as a test. We were making this project as practice for something else in the future. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to feature the Ghost in the future. It means that the actual filming, the directing, the scripting, the acting, the choreography, the editing, this was all to practice for something bigger that we've had planned for a long time. Anyway, it's, I don't know how to talk. If I'm being honest, no, I did not intend on taking this character any farther than this video. However, seeing the reception and seeing how much you guys loved this project, not just on YouTube, but on TikTok and on Instagram, how much you guys have absolutely adored not only the character, but the design and the project, seeing the comments, seeing the supportive DMs, all of that stuff has honestly been such a gratifying experience for us. Because like I said, we poured our heart and soul into this. We worked so hard to make this happen. and seeing that reaction is amazing. So initially it wasn't the idea to bring the ghost on any future projects, but that might have changed. So I can't speak if he'll ever return, but all I'm gonna say is the people love him, so maybe we'll make something work. Anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to make this video an hour long, even though it's gonna be a longer video, and I have other segments split up. I'm gonna do a cosplay breakdown of the actual suit. You can check that out. We're gonna go over the hints. You can check that out. I might actually want to do a sit down and like Q&A with the cast, so like with the lead actress, with Michael, with myself. Maybe we can take questions from you guys and find a day to answer them. If you guys would be interested in that, please let me know. That would be awesome. Because I would love to get those people together to actually talk about the movie and talk about the experience of making it. Rather than just me sitting in front of the camera telling you guys about it, you'll get a front-hand view of what it was actually like to make it. But I do want to take a second to give my most sincere thank you and absolute gratitude to every single person who clicked on that video, to every person who was in that live premiere, to every person who has reposted it on their story, to every person who has watched one of the TikToks featuring the ghost. All of it. To every person who sent DMs of love to myself, the lead actress, to Michael, all of that. To any person who has shown us love and support and like shared this movie, shared this short film to anyone, thank you. You guys honestly don't know and don't understand, but this type of stuff doesn't happen without you. It doesn't happen without a community or a fan base who wants to watch it, who is excited to see it and excited to get behind it. And that's why we make this stuff. That's why we go all out with this stuff, and that's why we try our hardest to make this stuff the best we can. Because at the end of the day, as hard as we work, we do it all for you guys, and we want you guys to enjoy the product that we can make, because it really is a product of love, passion, and creativity. A huge, huge, huge thank you goes out to Michael, because obviously he's the absolute legend for surviving with me on this project for the 2 days we were filming, as well as the editing process. I sent my boy a couple copies early so that he can tweak them and he can revise them with me. Honestly, I don't know how I can thank Michael enough. Michael, if you're watching this video, I absolutely love you, man. I love you to guts. And I don't know what I would do without you making this stuff with me. I really wouldn't pick anybody else to do it. And I've told him that, if you're watching this, I've told you this a million times, but you're always going to be my first and only choice when doing stuff like this. When we're going to conventions and I have 2 passes, I never see that as 2 passes. I see it as mine and Michael's, and we're going to go make stuff. Because everything we make just turns to gold, and I'm super grateful for that, and I'm super grateful for the years we have ahead of us to make more cool stuff like this and to keep upping the game as far as we can. So, love you, man. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me and everybody watching. Honestly, can we get a love you Michael in the chat, because that'd be awesome. Huge thank you to our lead actress Engi. She did a fantastic job. She really did give it her all, and honestly, you got to give her props for working with someone like me. I'm so chaotic and I'm so ADHD driven, but she could kind of tell I had a vision, and she worked absolutely beautifully with us. So thank you so much. Also, thank you to my friend Queeny on Instagram, who delivered the voice lines for one of our characters. She made a cameo, and that was awesome. And thank you so much for the people who helped along the way. Anybody who was on the media team, anybody who helped promote the short film, anybody who did anything, thank you. But I'm gonna cut it there, because it's been too long of a video. I honestly just have not had the time. I've been working like 15, 16, 17-hour days ever since the movie dropped, so I haven't even had time to make this video. But I just wanted to make this video to show you guys how much I appreciate all the love you've given to this movie, and to further promote it. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I would love and appreciate that so much. But anybody who I said won a giveaway, obviously your users will be listed in the description. Please reach out to me. If you don't reach out to me, I'll find a way to reach out to you. We're gonna make it work. Those 3 people are definitely gonna win something. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching the movie. Get out of here and click off so you can watch that. It'll be the first link in the description. Peace and love. Do good things. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, Spider-Man!